Welcome to the debut episode of the Portal 2 Weekly Recap Show. This is very much an alpha launch of this show, so expect it to be a little rough around the edges for now. We don't have finalized graphics or structure or anything, so make this up as we go along. So for now, we're going to get right into some top 10 runs from the past week. On April 20th, Betsrunner improved his 8th place core PB of 338.36 to 337.30, a second place run, with a comment decent TBH. On the same day, Heinous improved his wake-up PB from 251.86 with 20th place down to 251.50. Betsrunner also improved his wake-up PB of 251.66, a 15th place run, down to 251.16, which is 7th place, with a comment worst map of all time, Sudoku, beating Heinous' new PB. Betsrunner also got a secret panel PB going from 111.56, which is 14th place, to 110.93, which is 7th place. A comment of Pretty Garbo. On the same day, Nate the Not So Great and his partner Luke, who has world record in the map, did prop retrieval, going from 16.58 11th place to 16.43 in 10th. Then on the same day, Heinous did a smooth jazz run, going from 23.00 11th place down to 23.80 in 7th place. Luke then did the same map a day later on April 21st, going from 22.81 of 8th place down to 22.71 as 7th place, beating Heinous. Then on April 22nd, Betsrunner also did smooth jazz, going from 23.06, a 12th place run, to 22.45, a 5th place run, beating both of them, saying this took so many hours, holy shit. Zanera on April 22nd did Finale 3, going from 114.19, a 15th place time, to 113.63, 10th place, saying still no fucking boost. Nate the Not So Great on the same day also did Finale 3, 114.16, just ahead of where Zanera was, 15th place run at the time, to 113.41, 9th place, beating Zanera, saying no boost, bad run. Nate then improved his Finale 3 PB down to a 111.23, 5th place, saying bad ending. Rex then did Catapult Block on April 22nd, going from 17.81, 12th place, to 17.05, 7th place, with Betts, who has world record in the map. Rex also ran Catapults, going from 15.11, a world record run, down to 14.86 with Betts, improving the world record by a quarter of a second. Rex and Betts continue playing co-op on the same day, doing Bridge Fling, with Rex going from 19.93, 12th place, down to 19.06. Final Hop improving from a 13.45, a 10th place run, to 13.3, 9th place. And then again, to a 12.71, a 5th place run with Betts. Rex also on April 22nd ran Finale 3, going from a 111.35, a 6th place run, down to 111.18, 5th place, saying RNG start is RNG. Betsrunner on April 24th ran Escape, going from 27.45, 13th place, to 27.33, a 10th place run, and then again improving that the next day on April 25th, down to 27.11, a 4th place run, saying good run, Rex did better though. Betsrunner on April 25th did Ceiling Catapult, going from 43.06, 13th place, down to 42.43, 10th place. And then again, doing Laser Intro, 19.10, 5th place, down to 19.03, 3rd place. Truly an epic gamer moment, haha. Joshua Doodle ran Rat Maze on April 26th, going from 17.43, 27th place, down to 16.41, 9th place, I believe with Betsrunner. Lathel making this list, improving his time immensely, going from his last run being a 22.38 in Laserverse Turret, 15th place, down to 21.81 in 8th place, saying I'm in the Sunday thing maybe. He improved his time quite a bit from the start of the week, going for the new out of bounds route. To round out the week, on April 26th, Zaipe getting a Ceiling Catapult PB, going from 41.83, 2nd place, to 41.71, still 2nd place. Quite a few top 10 runs this week. Moving on to our featured run, we have on April 22nd, Kachow, Kersey How, doing Laser Platform in 3 portals for the first time. This is a very epic run, so we'll play the whole thing here. On to full game runs. We have on April 19th, just at the start of the week, Wilbur going from 107.59 in the 18th place run.
Oh, come on.
Down to 105.50, 11th place. Very nicely done.
105.50! Holy shit, my dudes, it happened!
And then on April 24th, Joshua Doodle going from 108.55 at 21st place to 108.13 and 19th, breaking into the top 20. We had no tournament games this week, so nothing to feature there. And that's all for this week. If you have any suggestions for how to improve the show other than making things more finalized, please feel free to give them. This is very bare bones. This is very much a trial run, and it'll be much improved upon in the future. Hopefully you guys enjoy the show and come back next week for a better version. I'm your host, Baster9.
Welcome to Week 2 of Portal 2 Speedrun Recaps. I'm your host, I'm Goodish, and let's jump right into it. Kicking us off in single player, Betsrunner improved his portal gun time, jumping from 4th to 3rd with a 23.78 and a comment of "decent run TBH," which is the most positive comment of all the runs this week. Nate the Not So Great had 2 improvements this week. One in cube momentum, going from 13th to 9th with a 13.06, with the comment "frowny face, bad ending." And over in laser intro, he improved from 8th to 7th with a 19.19, with a comment of "just bad." Rex grinded out laser stairs this week, improving his time 3 times from 11.93 to 11.81, but unfortunately still staying in 3rd place. Zypei had a single player showing on ceiling catapults, netting him the 1st place spot from 2nd with a 41.55. Lathel decided to hit laser versus turret and improved his time from a 21.81 to a 21.78. He still stayed in 8th place, however, and comments, "Does someone want to carry me? Keck." Feel free to shoot him a DM if you would like to carry him wherever he feels like going. Luke broke into the 10th spot in Repulsion Intro from 17th with a massive improvement, going from 46.18 to 43.96 with the comment "garbage run, garbage map." Then improved his time once more to a 43.28, staying in 10th place. Betsrunner said no a few days later and bopped Luke out of the top 10 with a 42.88 on the same map, putting him at 9th place from previously 11th. Wrapping up single player, we have Can't Even on Propulsion Flings with a 15.25, an improvement of over 2 seconds, taking him from 49th place to 6th, the biggest improvement in single player this week. Diving right into cooperative mode, Dane improved his PB in Rat Maze to 16.28, taking him from 41st to 9th. Betsrunner took on Industrial Fan, improving his time by half a second to 32.76, but remaining in 5th place. Zypei loaded up Cooperative Bridges and improved his placing from 4th to 3rd with a time of 24.16. Betsrunner and Luke went to the grindstone on bridge testing, improving their times from 39.20 to 38.18, taking them on a journey from 4th to 1st all in a single day. Betsrunner commented, "probably lost around 0.4 to 0.5 in the ending," and Luke commented, "I was kinda slow to the end." Luke may have been slow at the finish, but hey, 1st place is still 1st. Heinous hit up cooperative funnels, dropping from 33rd place to 3rd place with a 13.03, which is a heck of a lot of 3s, with the comment, "6th try with Nate." Dane touched up his funnel hop time, improving by almost 4 seconds to a 12.90, dropping him from 80th place down to 6th, the single biggest rank improvement this week. He commented, "No demo, but clip. Play audio, it's funny." To which I reply, rounding out our cooperative category, Rex improved his bridge repulsion time from a 13.78 to a 13.73, solidifying his 6th place spot. Other than CM times, the only other thing to mention this week was DeFatman922, who did a run at Hackathon on Saturday, April the 27th with an RTA time of 1:15:29, beating out Znernicus for 4th place in marathon percent. And that's all we have for you this week. I was your host, I'm Goodish, and we will see you next week. Welcome to week 3 of the Portal 2 recap show. I'm your host, I'm Goodish, and let's circle jump right into it. Kicking us off in single player, Betsrunner improved his bomb fling times, going from 14th place to 6th place with a 23.00. He says, I flung way too far, semicolon. With that time, Betsrunner knocked Dane out of the top 10, and Dane said, nah, improving his time to 23.50, putting him back into 10th place from 11th. He says, beat Shane and Daniel, this is epic. Luke is the last one to jump into bomb flings, improving his time to a 23.23, putting him in 8th place from 15th. Luke is also apparently a masochist because he took on Container Ride this week, sneaking into the 10th place from 15th with a 5:46.36. Nate the Not So Great did escape this week, jumping from 11th place to 4th with a 26.96. He says, how? Dane improved his finale one time, achieving a 1:18.19, and gets the biggest rank jump this week, jumping 22 spots all the way to 10th place. He says, nice mode. Funnel Intro was visited by our good friend Rex, who went from 4th to 3rd with a 13.91. Lathil dropped into Laser vs. Turret, jumping a spot to 7th place with a 21.46. He notes, top 5 for recap number 4. Betsrunner practiced his pit flings, getting a 16.21 and breaking into 5th spot from 14th. He says, I hate this idiot fling, give me a normal one. I'd like to remind Betsrunner that flings have feelings too, ya big meanie. Luke improved his propulsion flings by 10 ranks, going from 13th to 3rd with a 14.61, saying, fat route, incredible run. Lathil improved his repulsion intro time, snagging a 38.41 from a 38.80. He says, still over a second away from WR. Ugh. And finishing out single player, we have Dane on Wall Button, breaking into the top 10 from 11th with a 35.53 and the note, sun is down, freezing cold. That's how we already know winter's here. Starting us off with cooperative mode, Undead played Cooperative Bridges, getting a 24.18, jumping him one spot to 4th place. Nate the Not So Great teamed up with Heinous and improved their cooperative funnel times from a 13.03 to 12.96. Nate says, wow, sorry to people I betrayed on this map. Heinous says, I hit the fogs at 12.4. Gotta watch out for those fogs, Heinous. 2 days later, Nate joined Luke and hit the same map, setting a new world record of 12.65. Nate says, sorry, Bets. Luke said, oh noes, God Heinous struck again. On the same day, Nate joined back up with Heinous and set yet another world record of 12.61. Nate says, sub 12 is possible with Luke's new God route. Heinous says, the God Gamer did it. And finishing up cooperative mode, Spitta and Rex went into lasers, getting a 20.03. This week's featured run is once again from Crazy How. Kerchow. This time he worked on Smooth Jazz leased portals, managing to get 0 portals. Keep on breaking the game for us, Crazy. We're loving every minute. The final run of note this week comes from Can't Even, who improved his single-player inbounds world record by about 6 seconds, down to 1:01.07.284.
Wait, oh, that's a world record.
Congratulations to all the runners this week. I was your host, I'm Goodish, and we'll see you next week. Welcome to week 4 of the Portal 2 recap show. I'm your host, I'm Goodish, and let's circle jump right into it. Kicking off single player, we have Rex in bomb flings with a 22.65, landing in 4th place, down from 7th. Nate the Not So Great worked on his laser game this week, starting with Laser vs. Turret, achieving a 20.96, jumping him 6 spots into 5th place. He notes 3 tries, also terrible route and run. He then proceeded to grind out Laser over Goo a couple days later, improving his time a couple times, netting him the 5th place spot from 6th with a 21.16. He says, bad start again, no clue how much it lost though. Finally, the next day he broke into the top 10 from 11th in laser stairs with a 12.23. Rex returns with a series of propulsion flings improvements on a voyage which takes him from 12th to 4th with a 14.75. Of note, on his second improvement where he snagged a 14.95, he says, "Cute Spitascore." Finishing out single player, Dane worked on Stop the Box, getting a 16.38, taking him to 8th place all the way from 30th, which is the biggest rank improvement this week. He states, "Shit door, 15.9x on a good throw." Bunny hopping into cooperative mode, we have Undead and Zaipei running through cooperative bridges, bumping up a single rank to 3rd place with a 23.96. Lathil and Heenus worked on repulsion jumps this week, improving their time to an 11.13 and snagging the 7th place spot all the way from 20th. Lathil says, "Crab raves." Sunset Bear then carried Spitta on the same map, both jumping to 5th place with a 10.75. Spitta notes, greater than, 3C. And that'll about do it for us this week. I was your host, I'm Goodish, and we'll see you next week. Welcome to week 5 of the Portal 2 recap show. I'm your host, I'm Goodish, and I'm a big dummy. Last week I failed to mention all of the runs from May 11th despite having all the tools at my disposal. Shout out to Gaming and Nex. Therefore, this week I will be dedicating the first section of the video to those runs, and without further ado, let's circle jump right into it. Kicking off our May 11th single-player segment, Dane went into propulsion flings, kicking Bet's Runner out of the top 10 with a 15.21, getting him the 7th place spot, saying, "Sit, Daniel." Then Bet's Runner hopped back into the top 10 with a 14.88, snagging the 4th place spot, clapping back with a "Sit, Dane." Spitta then joined in on the action, getting a 14.95 and 5th place, stating, "Adamantite is cute." For the May 11th cooperative segment, we have Spitta on double lift, barely getting the top 10 spot with a 12.76. Zaipei had 2 Infinifling improvements, going from a 10.90 to a 10.83. Heenus hit up vertical flings with Nate the Not So Great, eventually netting them the number 3 spot with a 14.51, and Nate comments, "No catch at the start." Jumping back to the future for this week's single player, we have Dane on Cave Johnson, who got 9th place with a 24.73, and the comment, "Finally happy with this." He then hit up Laser Catapult, and again got 9th place with a 12.98, coming in hot from 44th, getting the biggest rank improvement this week, and saying, "I'm actually terrible at this map." Nate the Not So Great pinned down Laser Stairs this week with 2 PBs, moving up 3 spots to 7th place with a 12.05. He says, "Bad start, bad end. Then, rip." Lathil went into Laser vs. Turret this week, getting a 6th place spot with a 21.11, and states, "Nate, semicolon hyphen semicolon. Well, that was a good run, and I learned how to get inbounds. Also, hi recap people!" Zanera, though, flung into the top 10 in propulsion flings with a 15.21, coming in all the way from 18th place. Bet's Runner improved his test time with a 1:39.83, getting him the 5th place spot, and he says, "0.5 slow start, horrendous ending." Nate the Not So Great did some turret sabotaging this week, getting a new world record with a 1:10.25, saying, "Holy fuck, took long enough. Bad run still." Bet's Runner did the same map and snuck into the 9th place spot with a 1:21.16. His shoutout is, "Thank Mr. Zaipei for explanation." Nate the Not So Great tried out Bridge Intro and got a 23.50, netting him the 9th place spot. Bet's Runner hit up Finale 4 and landed a 3:21.53, putting him in 6th place. He says, "Worst map of all time, I wanna die." He then went over to Finale 1 and snagged the 5th place spot with a 1:17.60. He hits us with a bruh. Finally, he finishes out our single-player segment with a conversion intro run, putting him in 9th place with a 1:24.41. Bets Runner and Nate the Not So Great kick us off in the cooperative segment with cooperative funnels, bringing Bets Runner to the first place spot and improving Nate's time, snagging a 12.35. Bets Runner says, "Map big gay haha," and Nate says, "3 betrayals." Nate the Not So Great also hit up doors with Heinous, solidifying their 3rd place spot with a 7.86. Nate says, "What the fuck, 4.75 shot, but Heinous ultra fucked the ending." Bets Runner finishes out cooperative mode with a funnel catch time of 15.53, jumping him to the 8th place position. He says, "Worst run I've ever had." And that will about do it for us this week. I was your host, I'm Goodish, and we'll see you next week.
Welcome back to the Portal 2 Weekly Recap Show. I'm your host, Baster9, joining you for Week 6. Starting off in single-player challenge mode, we have Bets Runner getting a column blocker time of 35.88, a rank 9 run. Bets Runner then does Q Momentum, going from a 12.81 to a 12.8, and then to a 12.7, a 3rd place time, saying kinda slow button press and ending with a sad face. Nate the Not So Great also does Q Momentum the next day, going from 13.06 to 13.01, 9th place, and then breaking into the 12 second time with 12.95, a 6th place time, saying bad ending. Paraculus also does Q Momentum, going from a 12.83, getting a few PBs, all the way down to a 12.68, and then a 12.63, breaking into the 12.6 gang, in 2nd place run. Rex also doing Q Momentum, going from 12.85 to 12.81, and then 12.71, a 4th place time, not quite getting to the 12.6 rank. Just yesterday, in all the chaos, Hina's got a laser intro time, going from 19.33 to 19.26, 9th place, saying cute Dane score. Lathel improves his laser vs turret PB, going to a 21.1, a 6th place time, saying recap time everybody. Nate breaks into the top 10 in Portal Carousel, getting a 25.26, 5th place run, saying messed up the ending jump. Big D gets the highly coveted prop catch world record at the 24.7, 1st place time obviously, saying 5 minutes later, ... Congratulations to him on the well-earned world record. Nate breaks into the top 10 on another map, Pull the Rug this time, getting a 15.36, 5th place, saying bad run. Zype improves the test world record, going from 138.5 to 138.33. In the realm of co-op CM, we have quite a few this week as well. Undead Zype played Bridge Repulsion for a while, going from 13.18 to 13.15 to 13.13, getting a world record, and then improving it to 13.00. Nate and Zanera attempted Infinifling, getting an 11.15, 10th place run, PB for both of them. Heinous and Nate teamed up to do Multifling, getting a 25.70 and then a 25.61, both of those 7th place. Heinous says, "Nate hates me now, I ultra fucked the ending, again." And then Nate says, "Good run besides a little time lost at the ending." Undead and Zype teamed up again this week to do Turret Assassin, going from 17.78 to 17.75, and then to 17.56, another world record. Now to address the elephant in the room. On the night of May 31st, Kersey Howe found a new skip, dubbed Wheatley Skip Skip or Pancake Skip, to entirely skip picking up Wheatley to open the door at Secret Panel. This saves a large amount of time over the world record, which was previously 110.19 by Zype, which has now been lowered to a significant percentage of that time. I'm going to read off all the world records achieved with this new route in order up until May 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is when the cutoff is. So the first run with this new route, and also the first ever sub-minute run of Secret Panel, was done by Heinous, getting a 58.13. Lathel then tried to compete with a 54.86 and then 54.06. Heinous took it back with a 44.36, getting the sub 50. Then to compete with that, Wolbo gets a 43.06 and then a 35.30, breaking the world record and getting the first sub 40. Lathel returns to the scene with a 33.2, saying thanks Kachow. And Babyfurs gets his foot in the door with a 31.16. Next up is Zype, of course, returning to take his world record back, going from a 110.19 with the previous world record all the way down to 27.9, and then improving that to 26.63. World record has since gotten lower, which will be covered in next week's episode. On top of all the insane world records, we also have plenty of PBs from runners that were not world records, so I'm going to cover all those now. I'm only going to be covering times that are the current PBs, as there are plenty of smaller PBs that have since been beaten by these runners, and there's enough to cover already. Baby Furs with a 28.9, 4th place run at the time. Big D with a 30.16, 8th place at the time. Blenderice, 28.66, 5th place. Who says credit to Kurzihow, Valve, and number 42. Crimson got a 30.8, which is 4th place when he got it. Siptix got a 33.7, which was 9th place, saying, I hate all of you. Dasiox got his foot in there with a 31.46, 4th place. The Fat Man 922 got a 27.73, 3rd place. This really be a bruh moment. Dane got a 29.16 with 8th place run. Venus ended up with a 27.96. Lambo got himself a 28.43. Lathel's final time was a 29.53, barely getting that sub 30, 3rd place, saying, give Kurzihow legends. Nate got himself a 28.36, 4th place run. Sunset got himself a 28.83, 8th place run, saying, fuck this map, fuck P2 zoom function. Undead got a 2nd place run with a 27.26, saying, bonked it real good. Zanera got a 29.1, 3rd place, saying, right credit to Kachow. And that is it for challenge mode this week. Last week we missed a PB by Bets Runner in full game, getting a 102.32 with 4th place run. Very impressive, congrats to him. Now to cover the tournament really quickly. We are very close to the end of the tournament, if some people had scheduled their matches, well into the losers top 8, and almost done with the winners top 8. And on Friday night, we had a match between Can't Even and Bets Runner, with Can't Even finishing on top with a 101.59. Very impressive, congrats to him for staying alive in this bracket. Moving on to losers semis. And that is it for this week. Major shoutouts to Kurzihow for finding Pancake Skip, or weekly skip after all this time. And expect plenty of improvements to this map and to the full game run even, coming soon for next week. Thank you for stopping by, and have a good week. Hello speed friends, and welcome to week 7 of the Portal 2 recap show. I'm your host, Baster09, and we have quite a few runs this week. Starting off with single player this week, we have Rex improving his Cave Johnson PB from a 23.55 all the way down to a 23.21, 4th place time. Next up we have Zanera getting a 12.93 6th place time in his first 12 in Q momentum. Next up is a chain of secret panel PBs, starting with Baby Furs getting a 27.73 6th place at the time, with one hell of a comment. Best Runner gets a 26.43 8th place, saying I've hit the shot like over 1 second faster, so kinda bad run. Blenderice gets a 27.73 6th place at the time, saying big choke. Can't Even dips his foot to CM this week, getting a 27.66 3rd place at the time. The Fat Man 922 gets a 26.80 2nd place, saying eat me. I'm Smegma gets a couple PBs, finishing off with a 26.10 5th place, saying heck off youngsters. Luke gets 28.16 10th place, breaking into the top 10 at the time. Nate gets a couple PBs, finishing off with a 25.70 3rd place, saying hit the shot at 10.73 and shot 2 more times, rip. Good time though. Next gets a 2nd place time with a 26 flat, saying hi. Rex improves his time a lot, going all the way down to 24.50, 2nd place. Spitta gets a couple PBs, ending with a 26.66, 9th place, which is a little bit of a cursed time, if you ask me. Sunset goes down to 25.70, 4th place, saying on my way Zype. Undead plays single player to get a 24.96, 2nd place, saying Yahoo. Zanera goes down to 26.90, 7th place. Zype improves his world record a ton, going all the way down to 24.03, 1st place time. And a run off secret panel, we have Big Tuna going all the way down to 26.50, 2nd place at the time. On to other maps, we have Dane getting a turn intro time of 17.35, 8th place. And then again, improving his PB all the way down to a 17.06, 4th place, saying OMFG. And a previous run saying recap mode engaged. Finishing off single player this week, we have Venus getting a turret sabotage PB of 120.81, 8th place run, saying bad run. Now on to co-op. We have quite a few, specifically from Zype and Undead. Starting off with those two, they get a 23.46 in cooperative bridges, getting a world record. After cooperative bridges, the two of them played double bounce a couple times, landing on a 10.61 world record. They improved their multi-flings time to 24.53, getting the world record. Finishing off co-op, Zype and Undead run propulsion retrieval, getting a 15.81 and improving Zype's world record and getting Undead a world record for himself.
It's a surprise, I'm Goodish, and we have Heenus and Nate the Not So Great also doing multi-flaying, improving their 7th place time to a 25.35 with the comment big time gaps on this map. Back to you, Baster.
That is all for challenge mode, but we have a couple runs in full game today. Starting off last week, we did miss Wilbo getting a male out of bounds PB world record of 23:12. So congrats to him on running a category no one else runs.
Alright, 23:12. We'll take it, boys. New one.
Earlier this week, we had Bets Runner getting a 102.18, breaking into the top 3. But the day before that, as soon as Pancake skip was found, we have Can't Even getting a 100.32, a new world record, improved almost entirely by Pancake skip. He is still doing sub-hour attempts though, so expect to see that anytime soon.
No, like what's 100.32? It's pretty good.
And that is it for the recap this week. Thank you for joining me. I'm your host, Space09. You catch us same time, same place next week.
Hey, what's going on, speed friends and Portal 2 speed enthusiasts? I'm your favorite Celeste runner, and today I will be your host, Msushi. Turns out since Baster has not actually launched Portal 2 in over a year, he's ineligible to be the host. Kinda sad, you really hate to see him go. I'm sure he'll be around here next week, though. For now, though, similar to how Portal 2 speedrunners like to skip Wheatley skip, we actually are slacking a bit, and we did end up skipping last week's recap, so we have twice the amount of runs to cover today, so let's get right into it. Starting in single player, Nate the Not So Great improved his ricochet time by approximately 0.3 of a second, going from 17.65 to 17.36. This moved him up 2 ranks, and he is currently sitting at 3rd place. Nate the Not So Great continued to set times in the secret panel, going from a 28.13 to a 25.73. This is going to put him at 5th place, and he says, "Time was wrong, thank you Sunset Bear." After being thanked by Nate, Sunset Bear himself went on the secret panel and got an improvement of 0.07 of a second, going from 25.7 to 25.63. That's going to keep him at rank number 4, and he says, fuck. Dane dabbled in laser platform this week, going from a 17.71 to a 17.25, and then having another improvement to a 17 flat. This is going to put him from rank 10 to rank 6, and he comments, "Not sub 17, sad face." Big Tuna put in some work on laser catapult this week, going from a 13.06 at 13th place to a 12.93 at 8th place. No comment. To put the spotlight back on Nate the Not So Great, he went absolutely off in Chapter 1 this week. Starting in Future Starter, he went from a 22.35 to a 21.95, a 0.4 improvement, putting him 10 ranks ahead at rank 10. Inspired by Big Tuna, Nate also tackled Laser Catapult, going from a 13.11 to a 12.98, getting that sub 13 and a rank 10 spot. Nate also tackled possibly one of the hardest chambers in the game, Laser Intro, going from a 19.9 to a 19.16, and a 0.1 improvement from 19.16 to 19.06, leaving him at rank 5. One of Nate's more notable improvements this week was in Portal Gun, as he started the week with a 24.75 at 14th place. He slowly walled his way down into 24.46, and then 24.18, then finished off with a 24.16. Leaving him at rank number 5. He says, "Lost point 2 at the start over other runs. Could have been a 23. Sad face." In response to Nate's Portal Gun time, Heenus himself played the map, going from a 24.4 to a 24.15, narrowing out Nate's time by 0.01 seconds, leaving him at rank number 5, who includes a comment saying, "Fuck you, Nate." Rex improved his underground time, going from 101.13 at 4th place to 104.83, also at 4th place. We are lacking in the world record department so far, so Big Tuna is going to step up to the plate and go from a 20.7 on Crazy Box to a 20.53. This is going to mean that he's tying the world record with Swagatron, no comment included. This week, Laser Platform just wasn't enough for Dane as he tackles Laser over Goo, going from a 0.1 improvement from 21.65 to 21.55. This puts him up 3 ranks, and he's currently sitting at 7th. He comments, "This is okay." Crimson attempted Smooth Jazz this week, possibly one of the hardest maps in the game, very prestigious world record, going from 22.96 to 22.78, leaving him at 9th place. Now I know what you're thinking right about now. If Secret Panel is so good, why isn't there a Secret Panel 2? Well, the Portal 2 community delivered this week, as it was found that the Pancake skip found in Chapter 1 has a very similar application in turret sabotage, as in the turret control room, you can shoot through a door, skipping a decent part of the map. With a good setup, this route is significantly faster than the turret fly route, and because of that, many runners took the opportunity to improve their turret sabotage times. Prior to turretless, Can't Even, who had a 121.10, improved his time to a 118.13, and then a 117.58, and then a 117.4, leaving him at 3rd place. He comments, "Turret skip, smiley face." Msushi improved his time from a 120.25 to a 119.68, and then a 119.26, leaving him at 7th place. Great work, kid. Rex went from a 119.83 to a 117.65, and then promptly from that to a 117.01, putting him at 3rd place. No comment. The Fatman 922, who started at a 122.3, improved to a 120.06, putting him at 10th place. No comment. Betzrunner made a plethora of improvements on turret sabotage this week, starting at a 121.16, going towards a 118.41, and then a 117.91, a 117.90, a 117.75, a 117.26, and ending off the week with a 117.08. These submissions included stellar comments like, no boost at the end obviously, I literally walked around the flags, Megamind, and my favorite, this run ate my ass. Congratulations, Betts. Luke did his part on turret sabotage this week, and he's going to round out our runners by starting at a 120.28, improving to a 119.38, then a 118 flat, and then a 117.36. No comments included on these, and he's going to finish at rank number 5. In cooperative challenge mode this week, Rex displayed his affinity for rank 7, as he improved his behind the scenes time from 13.36 to 13.15, rank 7, and then his catapult catch time from 8.45 to 8.43, and then from 8.43 to 8.41, rank 7, and then his vertical flanks time from 14.93 to 14.6, rank 7. No comments included on any of those rounds. Zype A improved his cooperative funnels time, going from a 13.13 to a 12.95, which will keep him at rank number 6. Betzrunner and Luke finessed the propulsion retrieval world record, starting at a 15.85 and improving to a 15.78 to narrowly get out that first place spot. The comment included says, this map is a massive L of RNG. However, one world record was not enough for Luke and Betts, as they would go on to take vault entrance, starting from a 31.86 going to a 30.83. Comments included are Brother Momentum and Improvable by 0.5 minutes. However, everyone's favorite duo, Undead and Zype, would not let this pass, as they improved their vault entrance time from a 31.26 to a 30.86, and then taking back the world record at a 30.4. No comment included. To end off our challenge mode times this week, Luke took in the steps of Rex and got a rank 7 on catapults, improving his time from 16.15 to 15.75. In single-player inbounds no-save load abuse, a lot of runners took to improving their personal bests utilizing the newfound Pancake skip. Waterless Melon improved his 106.17 to 105.12, ending at rank 10. He adds, not great, but good enough for now. This week actually, all of the top 4 runners took to improving their single player times. First, Msushi improved from his long-lasting 102.52 to a 101.41, putting him at rank number 4. No, I'm just gonna be a 41. Yeah, that's really sad. That's really sad, dude. Betzrunner improves his time, going from a 102.18 to a 101.36. He adds, kind of massive L's in chapters 3, 6, and 8. Rest of the run was reasonable, I guess. Widening the Msushi gap, Lamau. I swear to God, if Can't Even gets a 59 before I get a 100, I'm gonna die. I just want to be in the same minute as world record for once, semicolon dash semicolon. How sad. Regardless, this time puts him at 3rd place. Crimson improves his rank 2 time from a 101.16 to a 100.48, staying at rank 2. He has the very insightful comment of demos, https://www.meet. What? I'm not supposed to read that? Alright, carry on. Goldust took it upon himself to improve his old 104.04, and through a series of improvements ended with a 103.21. And hey, if you're feeling unlucky this week, at least realize you're not Can't Even. Can't Even improved his personal best of 100.32 twice. However, there is a catch. His first improvement of a 100.06, he forgot to record demos for the run, making it invalid. Additionally, the now current world record and first sub 1 hour inbounds completion of Portal 2, Can't Even's new personal best of 59.52, saw a crash right at the end of Finale 4. Regardless of this hilarious gamer moment, the run will end up being verified. Congratulations to Can't Even for the first sub 1 hour inbounds run.
The game crashed.
Oh, and in more important news, congratulations Can't Even for your 48.55 completion of Celeste any %. You got 20 minutes to go before you get me. Good luck. To round off our recap for the week, we're going to go over to the Portal 2 SP No SLA inbounds tournament hosted in cooperation with Speed Gaming. The winners finals played out this week, as it was Crimson versus Msushi, in a very close race. Crimson narrowly beat Msushi, who valiantly fought till the end. Crimson narrowing just seconds off of his PB. He will be in the grand finals. Congratulations. From here on out, the tournament is just about over, as only 4 matches have to be played. The matches are as follows: Zype versus Goldust, the winner of that match facing Can't Even, then the winner of that match facing Msushi, and then the winner of that match facing Crimson. Best of luck to all the remaining contenders. To end off the recap this week, I'm going to remind you that today, Summer Games Done Quick 2019 is going to begin, and in fact, in only half an hour from the airing of this episode will the show actually start. I mention this, of course, because our very own Can't Even is running Portal 2 single-player, no SLA inbounds at the event. This run will commence approximately 2 hours from the airing of this episode, so make sure you head over to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick in order to support our boy. There are also so many cool other runs at SGDQ. Source runs include Titanfall 2, Half-Life 2, Quake, and my favorite, Half-Life. No reason in particular. And that is going to round out the recap for this week. Congratulations to all of the runners who achieved times throughout the last 2 weeks. Best of luck in the next week achieving those times, and we'll be here covering them, same time, same place. Thank you so much, and remember to subscribe with Twitch Prime.
Welcome to Week 10 of the Portal 2 Weekly Recap. I'm your host, Beastar09, and here we have a ton of single-player records from both full game and challenge mode. Let's get started. Starting off, we have a catapult intro time from Nate the Not So Great, going from a 29.6 all the way down to 29.56, improving his rank 0. We have a time from Dane and Cube Momentum, getting a 13.00, not quite in the 12 gang. And then Dane also gets a Finale 2 PB of 100.16, the top 10 times, saying, "Dude, this map is shitty." Following, we have a chain of laser catapult PBs after a new route discovered by Zype. Starting off with Bet's Runner going from a 12.73 down to 12.53, saying, "Spider, drink water, die." Dane goes down to a 12.7, third place time, saying, "So improvable, but fuck this map." Nit gets a chain of PBs going from 12.98 all the way down to 12.46. Next gets his one improvement, getting a 12.71, saying, "I tried to sneak through the door, man. Can't make it. Can't make it." Peroculus tries his hand at the new route and gets a 12.51, fourth place time. Rex, looking to improve his already good time, goes down to a 12.41, second place, saying, "May God have mercy on the people grinding this chamber." God did not have mercy. Spitta, as usual, goes to grind out the new route and goes all the way down to a 12.56 himself. Zype, being the discoverer of the route as well as the previous world record holder, started off with a 12.68, goes down to 12.66, and then immediately down to 11.71, proclaiming in Discord that the map is dead. Asian Symbols goes to a 12.93 down to 12.73, 5th place time. And that is it for Laser Catapult. Speaking of lasers, we have Laser Over Goo by Nate going from 21.16 to 21.08, not improving his rank again. But he does improve his rank in Propulsion Intro, going from 12.51 to 12.45, going down to 3rd place. Really good shot, not so great ending, good run. Dane tries his hand at Repulsion Polarity and gets a 21.95, saying, "Okay, holy shit," breaking into the 21 gang with the Reportal. Bets goes for a couple turret intro attempts, going from a 17.31 down to a 17.15. No throw, obviously, kinda want a 16 with it. There's a few turret sabotage PBs with the new Pancake route. Starting off with Bet's Runner, getting a 116.85. 4th place, had to beat Rex. Speaking of Rex, Rex actually did go back down to beat him with a 113.5. Big Tuna also trying his hand at the map, getting a 114.88, saying godlike start. And that is it for challenge mode. Going down to full game runs, we have a PB by Goldust going from 103.33, 8th place, to 103.20, 7th place. Zype as well improves his PB of 103.52 this week all the way down to a 102.28, 6th place. Bet's Runner also improves his PB to a 101.15, almost breaking into the sub 101 gang. Can't Even decides to revitalize a completely dead category, aka single player NA%, or SLA with wrong warp, and in his first run gets a 53.24 with just the wrong warp, no map skip, nothing. Worth noting, this run does beat the Portal 2 segmented one-hop run by Kurzihao, making it the fastest recorded Portal 2 run. We did have a tournament game this week between Zype and Goldust, getting close to the end of losers bracket, Zype pulling out ahead, going on to face Can't Even later on. Speaking of Can't Even, if you somehow weren't aware, he ran at Games Done Quick this week, getting a 101.17 live on stage in game time with a 104.29 in RTA, smashing the marathon percent world record with a record that'll probably stand for a long time. Congrats to Can't Even for getting our game up on the big stage.
And because we shot it early, we glitched. And we still have control over our character.
Follow this man.
Can I get some Can't Even bitrate in the chat?
For the Portal 2 modded community, we had a lot of activity in Portal 2 Memories, Chapter 2 specifically, with Nex's 28.86 being challenged by none other than Baster9 with a 28.833, as well as John Viss with a 28.617, and next coming to reclaim his title as world record holder in Chapter 2 of any percent Portal 2 Memories with 27.2, saying, guys, if you beat me by at least 1 full second.
And I intend to.
And that is it for this week in recap. Hello and welcome to weeks 11 and 12 of the Portal 2 semi-weekly recap. I'm your host, Baster9. We have quite a few PBs to catch up on since we missed last time. Getting right into this, we have a PB by Dane in Bridge the Gap, going from 16.91, 13th place, to 16.7, 6th place. Next up, we have a chain of PBs by Zypa and Crazy Box, going from 20.98, all the way down to world record 20.50. The first of many Zypa world records we're going to see. Rex also improving his Crazy Box time down to 22.5. Dane attempts Finale 3 a few times, going from a 113.83 to a 111.68, saying still no boost. We have quite a few laser catapult PBs, starting off with Nate going to a 12.13, second place at the time, saying it might be able to get 11 without the good ending. Enos gets a new PB of 12.7 with the new route, saying cute Dane score. Rex gets a third place 12.33. Hedis gets a fourth place 12.50. Lathel making the top 10 with a 12.61, saying can Gam be removed from the mod team? He likes pineapple pizza. Straight to the flags with a fail again. I would like to point out pineapple on pizza is actually really good, you all gotta give it a chance. Daltos improves his PB with a 12.53. And Rex further improves his 12.33 down to a 12.18. Moving on to laser chaining, Dane gets a 23.48, barely making it into the top 10, saying it took 20 minutes. He displays the hardest map in the run laser intro, getting a 19.16, and then Dane ties the 19.16, saying cute Hina score, smiley face. Zanera gets a Whipmaker faster than ever before, getting a 21.38, his 6th place time. Dane improves his Laserverse turret PB, getting a 21.45, jumping 8 places to 8th place. We have a few Neurotoxin Sabotage PBs, starting off with Big D getting a 101.76. Rex also improves his Neurosabo time, going to a 101.3. Goldust joining in on the same tie as Big D, getting the 101.76 cycle. And Zanera joining Rex with the 101.3 cycle. We have one more joining the 2470 prop catch gang, being Severe, saying lol okay. Doto's getting another PB, this one in prop flings, getting a 15.15. Melon gets a repulsion intro PB, getting a 42.26 and improving his PB by almost 6 whole seconds. Enos improves his ricochet time to get into the top 10 with an 18.10, 9th place time. Rex improving his as well to get a 17.29, 2nd place. Daltos, who previously had the fastest non-pancake skip secret panel, does a run with pancake skip and gets a 26.3, 8th place. Zype, looking to get the sweep on every world record, has gone for 3 gels, getting a 21.73 to beat Swaggertron's world record. Nate improves his turret factory PB to a 101.4, 4th place time. Zanera improves his turret intro, going from 18.19, his 22nd place, which was his worst time, to a 16.76 at 3rd place, being his best. Rex also improves his turret intro PB, getting sub Zanera at 16.48, 2nd place. Zype also decides to flex and improve his turret intro world record, going from a 16.35 all the way down to a 16.21. Nate joining in on turret intro hype and gets a 17.15, 7th place. AJ does a series of turret sabo PBs, going from a 119.81 all the way down to 114.94. And Zype also with the pancake route gets the first sub 110 turret sabotage with a 109.96 world record. Zype reclaims the underground world record with a 103.8, as well as improves his own wake up world record, going down to a 250.23. Nate also improves his wake up PB, going to a 250.96. Zanera improves his as well, going to 251.16. Betts with the 250.66. Rex with the 250.50. And then Zype again improving that world record down to 250.16. That is all for single player CM. Moving on to a few co-op PBs, all of them by Spitta. Starting off with Fling Block, going from a 14.95 all the way down to a 14.58, 6th place time. Again on multi-fling, Spitta goes from a 26.08 to 25.55. And then finally, on Propulsion Crushers, Spitta goes from a 23.33 to a 21.75. Congratulations to Spitta. Moving on to full game runs, Can't Even recently improved his any percent world record quite a bit down to a 44 minute and 43 second world record.
Oh, I should have waited like literally any fraction of a second, so it could have been a 44-44. I was just holding it down, I wasn't thinking.
Thanks for the hate crime, Jer. See you in court, mate.
Crazy How also gets what you could call an any percent world record in 2 minutes 34 seconds, which you should watch it for yourself. It's pretty entertaining, as in it's not any of the game. There's been a little bit of hype with Portal Stories Mal, with Rex getting the world record of a 22.36 and it being taken almost immediately by Can't Even, who's brought the world record all the way down to a 21 flat. Also worth watching is Crazy How's new Guys, Something Is Wrong With My Game video, which is, if you've seen any of his videos like that, it's worth watching. Moving on to the tournament, we've had a couple of races in the past 2 weeks. Starting off with Can't Even beating Msushi at the losers bracket, making Msushi out at 3rd place, and moving Can't Even to Grand Finals to face Crimson, which he did. Can't Even beat Crimson 2-1 in the loser side of Grand Finals to reset the bracket. They're going to play set 2 on Wednesday, July 17th at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I hope you all should be there for the final set of Grand Finals and of this Portal 2 single player tournament. And that is it for this week's recap. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys same time, same place next week. I'm your host, Baster9, signing out. Hello, welcome to the Portal 2 recap show. I'm your host, Baster9. This week we have quite a few PBs and world records to get into. Let's get started. Thank you guys for watching weeks 13 and 14 of the Portal 2 recap. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, same time, same place.